our focus now to the big story that we are tracking, the developments coming in from the state of Karnataka. So the Karnataka power game has now moved from speculation to execution. After days of Delhi huddles, internal negotiations and backroom formulas, Siddaramaiah has now formally submitted his resignation. The letter was handed over to the governor's secretary at Raj Bhavan, marking the official beginning of the leadership transition in the state of Karnataka. So Siddaramaiah has now stepped down as the chief minister of Karnataka. In fact, he is on his way to the national capital.
ನಾನು ಮೊದಲಿನಿಂದಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ಅನೇಕ ಸಾರಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರು ಮುಂದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ. ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ನವರು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸೂಚಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಆವಾಗ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆಯನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
So there you heard Mr. Siddaramaiah saying that the High Command asked him and he has stepped down as the Chief Minister. After that crucial press briefing, he is now on his way to the airport. He is going to reach the national capital where, according to reports coming in, he is going to be meeting the High Command. Mr. Surjewala is accompanying Siddaramaiah as he now moves towards the national capital. So after the crucial press briefing now, Siddaramaiah on his way to Delhi. He's left for Bengaluru airport. He has stepped down as the chief minister of the state of Karnataka. He went to the Lok Bhavan, handed over his resignation to the officials there at Lok Bhavan since the governor is not there in town. There you see that sign of unity, all the leaders holding their hands, sending out a message that they are together. There's no rift as was being reported, but we know about the tussle and time and again how that tussle intensified, which led to the situation that prevails today, that Siddaramaiah was asked to step down to make way for someone else. And in this case, that's DK Shivakumar. Top sources in the DK camp are telling Times Now that DK Shivakumar's swearing-in ceremony is likely to take place on the 1st of June. A final decision is expected after consultations with the party high command. With the resignation now submitted, attention has shifted to the next phase of government formation. Sources are saying discussions underway on cabinet composition, possible deputy chief minister picks and social representation in the new government. On one side, visuals of transfer of power, DK Shivakumar shaking hands with Siddaramaiah, touching his feet, taking his blessings, standing beside him through the final hours of the transition. The Congress High Command is projecting a smooth change in the state of Karnataka, change of guard that has happened. But outside the power corridors, the political reaction is far more complicated. In Kalaburgi and Raichur, protests have broken out among supporters of Siddaramaiah's Ahinda Social Coalition. Kuruba groups have raised slogans against the leadership change, with many supporters saying the exit of Siddaramaiah could impact OBC representation inside the party. At the same time, emotional scenes played out outside Siddaramaiah's residence, with several loyalists seen breaking down after his resignation. Supporters gathered in large numbers, many calling him the most important Ahinda face of the Congress in the state of Karnataka. And then there is the bigger social equation, the Ahinda factor that the supporters are talking about. Supporters of Siddaramaiah gathered outside his residence, even as DK supporters burst crackers across Bengaluru and Ramanagara. They were celebrating, of course. The Karnataka State Federation of Backward Class Communities has already warned the Congress High Command that sidelining Siddaramaiah could trigger an OBC backlash, which is why Delhi is now working on a massive social balancing exercise. Multiple deputy chief ministers, caste representation, woman factor, Dalit factor, Lingayat factor, all to ensure that the DK era does not begin with social unrest inside the party's core vote base. So let's explain the challenges ahead now for DK Shivakumar as Siddaramaiah exits and DK Shivakumar takes charge. Let's take a look at the challenges that he may face after taking over as the Chief Minister of Karnataka. These are the challenges that DK Shivakumar could face. Number one, managing Siddaramaiah camp loyalists. Challenge number two, keeping Ahinda vote base intact. That's in fact the worry of most of the loyalists and something that the High Command is also paying close attention to. Challenge number three, avoiding OBC backlash after Siddaramaiah's exit. Number four, balancing cabinet berth aspirations, because of course even the High Command wants loyalists and close aides of Siddaramaiah to be accommodated. Number five, handling KPCC president power tussle. Number six, keeping Congress MLAs united post-transition. We've already seen those visuals coming in of protests breaking out. And challenge number seven, managing the expectations of own supporters. He has to strike a balance between the supporters of Siddaramaiah and his own supporters. Number eight, preparing for 2028 without internal war, without any more factionalism or tussle, as has been reported ever since, in fact, the Congress came to power in 2023. The real negotiation now appears to be about what happens after the switch. Sources say Siddaramaiah is expected to travel to Delhi. In fact, we got you those visuals as well earlier of him moving towards the airport, officially to thank the party high command, but also to discuss the future of his camp, cabinet berths for his loyalists, the next KPCC president, and most importantly, how much control DK Shivakumar will really have after taking over. Because even if DK Shivakumar gets the chair, the Siddaramaiah camp still has numbers, social clout and organizational weight inside Karnataka Congress. So the big question, of course, now is what next for Mr. Siddaramaiah? Although he has said no to a national role. Remember, in the press conference, he said that the High Command did offer him Rajya Sabha. He said no to that. So Mr. Siddaramaiah is the Ahinda face for Congress, tall leader in the state of Karnataka, OBC mobilization point man, cabinet berth negotiator. These are all, the qualities of him as someone who is an experienced leader of the Congress party. Cabinet berth negotiator, that's something that Siddaramaiah is known for, and his style of politics has been such. Also, a huge role in KPCC power structure. As far as DK Shivakumar is concerned, now all eyes shift on DK Shivakumar. How would he be able to strike a balance between Sidda camp and his own camp? Let's take a look at the profile. DK Shivakumar belongs to the Vokaliga community. As far as his political journey is concerned, he started as the NSUI leader, 8-time consecutive MLA. He's handled several key portfolios. Those portfolios include irrigation, Bengaluru development, energy, medical education, and he declared his net worth to be about 1,414 crores. DK Shivakumar has been waiting for this opportunity, but that wait period for now is over as his era begins and as he's given the responsibility by the High Command now. Let's go across to Neha, who's getting us more details. I believe you're reporting from outside DK Shivakumar's residence. All the action now shifts there as Siddaramaiah leaves for the national capital. All eyes, of course, on what happens next, the oath-taking ceremony, cabinet berths for loyalists, striking a balance between Sidda loyalists and his own loyalists, his own supporters.
Well, that's right. Of course, it's going to be quite a balancing act, remember, for the Congress party here. While, of course, the larger problem per se may have been resolved within the party of the infighting, because we've seen over the past year now, MLAs, ministers, MLCs, all of them have been quite vocal that they wanted a change of guard. And now that that's happened, how is the Congress party going to really, play the balancing act now? Whether this has to do with a cabinet reshuffle, whether this has to do with the appointment of deputy chief ministers. The party at this point would not like to upset any community, remember, keeping the 2028 polls and the GBA polls, of course, in near sight. While, of course, we are outside the residence right now of the deputy chief minister, of course, who's all set to now be taking charge as the chief minister in a couple of days. There's a lot of activity here. You can see supporters who've gathered. You can see party cadre that's here. His own staff, of course, who's also quite ecstatic now from this morning. Something that was unexpected lines, in fact, they say. But with all of this that's now happened, the bigger question really about what we were speaking about earlier being what next for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. While, of course, he sent his resignation to the Raj Bhavan, he's rejected the shift to Delhi. What really next, and how is the party now going to ensure that, in fact, all of the Ahinda communities, the backward classes, all of those whom, he's been crucial or integral in uplifting, is what he said in the press conference that he addressed earlier. How is the party going to ensure that all of them are taken together and the united front is put up is a big challenge that stands ahead of the party?
Absolutely. So there are a lot of challenges ahead of DK Shivakumar, but first, of course, the oath-taking ceremony will take place. Officially, he will assume charge as the Chief Minister of the state of Karnataka, something that he's been waiting, his supporters have been waiting for ever since the government came to power in 2023. Thank you very much, Neha, for getting us the details.